God damn, they brought her back? That was horribly acted. Sorry, this is my second take. Long story. Anyway, welcome back to What's on the Tube, or welcome if this is your first time to, where each and every week I review seasons of shows. This one is doing High School Musical, the musical, the series. And I gotta say, after last week, I am so freaking pumped up. You don't understand. Like, last week defined the show. Obviously, I've been hashtag Team Nini for since episode 1. Now everyone else is starting to get on board, but I was one of the first. So take that. Anywho, so I was very happy that we were progressing to a show that was I always liked the show. It's just that I didn't I deplore love triangles. I felt like these teenagers were stupid. And well, again, teenagers are stupid. I mean, I was a teenager once. I was pretty stupid, so it's a universal fact. Well, not universal, but you know what I mean. And then last week we finally got the moment where it's like, this is its own thing. It's still respecting the High School Musical traditions and the High School Musical legacy, but it's doing its own thing. And this episode really doubled down on that, where, once again, this was just a great episode. Before I get to you, how they brought... I forgot her name. Damn it. Marsha, God damn it, I forgot her name. we had the High School Musical cameo, and this is my second take doing it, because I was doing a first take, but I got interrupted throughout the entire episode, so I said, screw it, I'm going to start over. I forgot her name, damn it, Kelsey, no, that was Kelsey, no. I forgot her name, damn it. Okay, anywho, so moving on, so that was pretty awesome to get the first ever High School Musical, an original legacy character cameo on the show. Very unexpected. I wasn't expecting that. The way they shot that scene was like, it was purposely not showing her, and then the last one was like, you got me. But let's get through my very butchered recap. Let's go for the butchered recap. So, we pick up from this is the Monday after, that's the weird thing about homecoming, is that usually homecoming, events, the big parties would be on a Friday so that people can rest the weekend. Apparently this took place on a Thursday for some weird reason, but okay, we'll work through that. Or I think it's I don't remember what day it was, but we still had school the next day. We last left on the cliffhanger that Miss Jen was being called into Ernie the principal about some sort of issue that they have with her, and by the next morning it turns out it is actually pretty severe, and it could lead to her getting fired. Obviously, between the dick teacher kind of threatening her to expose her teaching credentials being kind of falsified, not being in the High School Musical movie proper, that sort of thing. It's just not painting a good picture for Miss Jen, but she's not trying to get her students involved. She's trying to the show must go on. Meanwhile, the kids are trying to recreate the High School Musical 1 poster. And seeing Ricky in the Troy Bolton wing, it's an uncanny valley effect where it's for a moment I felt like, holy damn, he actually looks like Troy Bolton, Zac Efron with the wig. And then I was like, why are you wearing this? I mean, I guess it's a poster, but it's if you're... I forgot if they ever said that this was going to be a modernized version of High School Musical. I don't remember if they ever said that, but do we really need the wig? I mean, they got the. Chad is not with the afro. What was it? Did he have an afro? Yeah, he had an afro. And Sharpay doesn't have her long hair. So does Ricky really need the wig? I mean, I know it was for comedic effect. I'm so happy that Nini's finally at that point with Ricky, that we're still figuring out the relationship aspect of their characters, but again, remember, I am not team anyone. I'm just saying that in terms of the characters themselves, they're still figuring that out. But especially this episode is kind of putting a wrench in that plan. And at least for Nini on the Ricky front, she's actually being more of herself again with him, but it's not in the romantic sense, more just a friendly way. So they are moving past the point where it's the breakup drama is kind of over, and they're moving towards at least peaceful co-working, in a peaceful co-acting, whatever you want to call it. The photo shoot does not go well. It does not go well at all. But we get to the rehearsals. Everyone's kind of wondering, where's Miss Jen? Where's Miss Jen? Do we really mean Miss Jen? Well, we kind of do, but whatever. But Carlos is there. He's here he's the only one who knows what's going on with Miss Jen, and he's trying to keep everyone together. It's okay, Miss Jen's gonna be back soon, but we gotta keep going. He kind of butchers the rehearsal, what was it? Exercise. Everyone's commenting, and he's like, well, we should wait for Miss Jen to kind of guide us here. And Carlos kind of snaps, and because he's having too much. Because honestly, I do feel for Carlos right now. Carlos has a lot to give to Miss Jen because she was the first teacher to give him, to make him feel like I think he said something like this. I might be butchering it. The first person who made him feel like a contributing factor to this, where he said he's always been the punchline. He's never been properly taken seriously. And, and then Miss Jen came in and kind of like gave him a purpose, gave him friends, gave him like presumably a love interest. So it's like, it's all thanks to Miss Jen. So obviously he has a lot to give to her, and he obviously feels horrible this is happening to her. But it was a weird thing, because like, as soon as they all realized that Miss Jen might get fired, that they all suddenly drop ship, and it's like, well, you guys can still do the play. You have the script. I mean, again, she's a professional drama teacher, so I guess we do need her to like kind of guide the way a little bit, but whatever. So everyone leaves. It's only Ricky and Gina left in the room. Last week we kind of get the setup that there might be something between the two characters. I don't know about Ricky's then, but Gina's definitely feeling something for them. Meanwhile, EJ, kind of the outlier in this, because like, again, this is another episode where it's like, we don't know what we're doing with EJ. We don't really know. I honestly thought this week we were going to get some sort of like giving EJ newfound purpose. We do not. Where Ricky is sort of still trying to figure out his place post his parents' divorce, and starting to realize that this musical is very important to him. Gina's slowly accepting the fact that maybe she doesn't need to be the lead, and she's also maybe getting romantic feelings for Ricky, and Nini's trying to be her own person. For EJ, there hasn't really... this episode didn't really do it for me. We're not getting anywhere with EJ. Like, he has one good moment in the episode, and it wasn't really to kind of set something else. It was kind of to finally get that long-awaited talk with Nini, and even the talk didn't exactly... thankfully, didn't lead to them getting back together, and Nini smartly said that, what is she supposed to do with this information drop? Because he kind of gave her the entire spiel of his entire character existence in this first half of the season. And obviously Nini didn't accept anything, because she obviously said, what do you want me to do with this information? Are we going to get back together? Are we going to be friends? Are we going to be forgiven? She does nothing with this information, because this is not affecting what her current judgment is of EJ, and that's smart of her. And EJ kind of accepts that and kind of moves on. And I hope he does move on, because right now he's just the outlier in this entire show. Initially he was Ricky's thorn. He was the guy who was trying to protect to be with his girlfriend, and now he lost everything. All he has left is this musical, and I think his only fear is that Ricky and Nini don't get back together. But it's what is there left for the character? I mean, he's a senior, so presumably after season 2 he's going to graduate, unless they come up with some bullshit thing where, oh no, he's getting left behind, but I highly doubt it, but whatever. Where do we go from here, from the talk? No, so Carlos Carlos meets the dickbag teacher for... No, he's really not a dickbag. He's not that nice. He's not the more sincere teacher. He's more tough. He's more, more strict to his bone. He does not... He's trying to tell him that, listen, I didn't personally do anything with this one. I didn't have any involvement in this, but she is guilty of some other stuff. So it's this is probably the world telling her that things has caught up to her. But immediately afterwards, Carla does meet up with Miss Chen, but she doesn't give him any good news that there's a hearing tomorrow, but there's a likelihood I'm going to get fired. So she's giving him some hope that hopefully her replacement will continue the musical proper and kind of pick up where she left off. Doesn't sit well for Carlos. Another key detail I kind of missed here, I kind of skipped around a little bit, was that Ricky and Gina were the only ones left in the rehearsal room, and Ricky kind of pitched this idea to do an acoustic version of, I don't know if it was one of his songs or one of the songs from the movie. I promised everyone I would rewatch High School Musical 1. I clearly didn't. It's been a very busy time for me. So I don't remember if that song was in the movie. I think it was. And he sings it for her, but Nini shows up during the middle of it, initially thinking Ricky's coming to his own in his musician side of things, but she sees Gina, so she's going to obviously speculate that way. Is Ricky now interested in Gina? Does she still have feelings for him? We don't really know. And I don't even think Ricky knows. I think Ricky's a bit confused right now, because the way he ended up with Nini was okay, this is a definitive, we're not getting back together, but there might be a chance. Again, we don't know the status of any of these. Everything's in the confusion zone right now, and it's a bit baffling to say the least. So we pick up at Ricky's best friend's house, Big Red. Why did I suddenly remember that? Anyway, we go to Big Red's house, and suddenly there's a lot of people from the musical showing up. It turns out to be everyone. And they're honestly having an honest talk, like, listen, with the whole hearing tomorrow, with Miss Jen's fate of the school being decided, everyone's wondering, like, is her past really going to influence their overall thoughts on her? Ricky's kind of in the weird zone where he's like, well, technically, if she knew this all about this, she should have told the truth from the beginning. But it was only because Ricky has too much at stake here and has too much care towards this new family. And honestly, I'm a family man. I get that. But you guys have only been together for 5 weeks, and half of that time's bickering and arguing. And I get that's how families work, but still, you guys are not a family yet. I mean, for me, I didn't even consider any of my friends' family till, like, maybe almost 5 years until I got to know everyone together. So, obviously, this is a TV show. We got to, speed things up a little bit, but still, that was a little bit out of character. But I do get that, when you're doing stage, when you're doing production, you're going to grow a commodity between your cast. I just personally don't think these guys are close to the family thing yet. But anyway, they kind of had this honest talk, like, no matter what, we still need to do something for Miss Chen, and they start scheming. Why do teenagers always scheme? Can't they just leave well enough alone? So we get to the meeting day itself. Miss Jen is out waiting in front first. Ricky's dad shows up for whatever reason. He's there for support reasons, I guess. He kind of figures out that she is the drama teacher in question. They kind of have like a flirtatious moment, so to speak. But we do get to the actual meeting itself, where Ernie the principal, man. I mean, I don't know what happened to Ernie since the George Lopez days. I don't know. He's hardened up. Got some wrinkles, though. Well, what am I commenting? Anyway, so it's not looking well for Ms. Jen. She's trying to, like, say her piece about how the positive influence she's having on these kids, but they're not listening to her. They're more really focused on what she's already done in the past and not really what she's doing in the present, which I kind of don't like that in certain people, but I do understand that in an extent. But before we're able to figure out their overall sentencing, everyone just decides to break into song, which is like, I think this was honestly the very first time in the show where they just unexpectedly break into dance. Obviously, this was planned out. I get that, but it was like the first time we actually got to see a mob-type function, so to speak, at play here. And where was I going with that? So, another great song. I don't think it was as strong as last week's song, but it was still a pretty good song. Some of the lyrics were a bit off-key, like they didn't really flow well. Again, I'm not a songwriter, so I am not the expert at this. I'm just commenting on my own personal taste in music that a couple of the lines were kind of off a little bit. But I'm honestly surprised they were able to get a whole song and a whole choreographed number in, like, literally one night. So props to the teens over there for doing that. And the entire board was like, sorry, Ernie, you lost. We're keeping this woman. And this is where we get the cameo from freaking, I think was it Tracy? Damn it, I feel so bad. Like, I knew her name. I had it. Anyway. And so everyone's happy. Miss Jen gets to keep her job. She still gets to keep making money. Because it's not like she was making money before. I feel like a dick for saying that, but it's the truth. All the teens are celebrating. They're all kind of hugging each other. Like, we did it. We did something. We did something great. And Ricky and Gina kind of have a little bit of a romantic hug, so to speak. And Nene watched it, so it's like, is she feeling jealous? Who knows? We do get a moment where Ricky's dad and Miss Jen are kind of, once again, flirtatious again. And Ricky kind of is aware of that, but he's a bit neutral in terms of his, like, emotional reaction to it, since he's not against it, but he also, I don't know what the protocol is for your parent dating someone that has an authority figure over you. I don't know. But that's kind of where we leave off the episode. And yeah, that was it for the episode. Not a great episode overall. We're really hitting stride with this. It's a bit concerning how, now I'm thinking of the overall spear of things, is that there's only 10 episodes in the season. We got 4 left. And the promo for next week is like another sidestep to the musical process, which, again, for me, I'm enjoying it. But they do need to get back to the musical at hand here. I mean, the musical is in the season finale. So we only got like 4 episodes left before then. So they don't want to hurry that along, because like last week's episode was about the homecoming dance, so no one was on the musical front. And then this week, the Ms. Jen front took priority. So they didn't really rehearse in a while. So they got to get back to it. So let's see what happens when we come back for next week. And yeah, so we'll see what happens. Can't believe we're already halfway done with the season. Apparently, there's a special coming on for High School Musical, the series, entitled High School Musical, the series, the special. Disney just loves screwing with my mind, don't they? It's not an episode. It's a behind the scenes into the making of it. I am not sure if I'm going to be able to catch it. I got Rise of Skywalker next week and a bunch of other stuff to handle, so I will not be covering it. So I will not have any sort of comments on it. I would love to watch it. I love the behind the scenes videos. I love making of videos. I love it. I just don't have the time. So if you kind of see me omit that, maybe there's a key piece of detail that I'm missing for this show. I apologize. I probably won't be catching it. So giving you that heads up. And I really, back to the overall episode review, I really like this episode. I dig it. The song, again, wasn't exactly, from last week's epic one, this one was pretty good, but it wasn't as great as last week. Ricky is sort of continuing his own path. Gene is sort of learning new things, and Nini's still trying to, like, be independent, still trying to figure out who she is, really. Miss Jen, we got a little bit more of her vulnerable side a little bit. Carlos did definitely take another step charge this week in terms of like how he's emoting to all this. EJ, again, he's now the outlier in this show. I don't know, unless they come up with something in the next few weeks. I don't see a case for him surviving beyond season 2, to be completely honest with you, because I think everyone else is sophomores or juniors. I forgot what grades everyone else is in. But if this show does hypothetically get a season 3 or 4, I personally don't see EJ continuing the story. I do see him kind of dropping out, unless something changes. This is where we're at currently, just by episode 6. And we're moving at a pretty good pace. I'm really happy with how the season's turning out, and I can't wait to see how next week's very belated Thanksgiving episode is going to turn out. And that's going to do it for me this week, guy. I got a lot of Christmas stuff to take care of. So if you were unaware of this, was what's on the tube from ActionX. If you want to know what's coming up overall on it, kind of got a lot of luck for you guys, because like Rookie and Nancy Drew are on breaks right now. I'm still trying to experiment and try to like do more one-offs while we're on breaks, because Rookie's on break till February and Nancy Drew's on break until mid-January. So we kind of got at least a month of know what's on the tube in the beginning, and I kind of love this show so much that I'm still thinking of like what other shows I could be doing in the meantime. It won't be like episode by episode breakdowns, but it'll kind of be more condensed, smaller versions, so to speak, of seasons or shows. So we'll figure it out as it may. There will probably not be anything next week on the early week front, since I got finals, I got Christmas shopping to do. There's just so much to do. But I will be back next week with High School Musical, the series. Now, bit of a heads up. I'm just letting you guys know I have some big events coming up next week. I will be trying my absolute best to get the next episode up early, because I got Rise of Skywalker that night, and I have a Christmas event to attend / plan out. So I am not skipping. I am just going to do it a little bit earlier. So it will probably, the next one will be out Friday night instead of our usual Saturday time slot. So just so you're aware, because I don't want to, because once Rise of Skywalker hits, I will probably not have time to do any sort of video work till Monday. And by that time, it'll be Christmas. So I don't want to do that. So that'll leave you to there. And remember, High School Musical, the series, episode reviews will run uninterrupted until the season finale, which apparently I just figured out is January 10th, which kind of does match up with the whole 10 episodes lineup. And then we'll be going from there. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me tonight. Again, if you want to see more from what's on the tube on ActionX, please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, like, share, favorite the video. I'm finally going to take a little bit of a break, decorate this Christmas tree I have right here. You don't see it right now. I was going to consider like moving the camera so you guys see it, but it's not ready yet. Maybe when we're wrapping up the year, who knows. And I got some Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order to play. So, thank you guys again. I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.